In an age when most farms run on diesel engines and chemical fertilizers, the Amish still walk behind horse-drawn plows, relying on the strength of soil, seed, and tradition. Among the crops that anchor their way of life, one stands apart for its endurance through centuries. This is spelt, an ancient grain that has been cultivated for more than 7,000 years, long before modern wheat dominated fields and store shelves. The Amish didn't cling to spelt by accident. They grow it deliberately, valuing its resilience, nutritional richness, and spiritual connection to their community life. While most of the world abandoned spelt in favor of high-yield hybrid wheat, the Amish preserved it. For them, farming is not just about maximizing output. It's about cultivating crops that nourish body and soul, while respecting the limits of the land. Spelt fits that vision perfectly. It thrives in conditions where modern wheat struggles, resists pests and disease without heavy inputs, and produces a hearty grain with exceptional flavor. In recent decades, health-conscious eaters and sustainable farmers outside Amish circles have begun to rediscover spelt, confirming what the Amish always knew: this ancient grain has a place in the future of agriculture. Amish spelt fields are planted with the same care that guided generations before them. Seeds are often saved from year to year, passed down within families rather than purchased from outside companies. In autumn, spelt is sown much like winter wheat, its kernels pressed into freshly worked soil by horse-drawn seeders. The timing is deliberate. Spelt benefits from the cold months, sending down roots that anchor the plant against spring rains and nourish it through the growing season. What makes Amish cultivation stand out is not only the crop itself, but the process. Farming is done as a community. When planting season arrives, neighbors often gather to help, ensuring that fields are seeded in time before winter sets in. Harvest is no different. Come summer, spelt fields turn golden, and families work together to bring in the crop, sometimes using traditional binders and threshers rather than modern combines. It is slow, labor-intensive work. But for the Amish, efficiency isn't measured by speed alone. It is measured by faithfulness to tradition, the quality of the harvest, and the bonds of community strengthened in the field. So, the rhythm of spelt actually dictates much of the Amish agricultural calendar. In the fall, it's sown as the land kind of rests from all those summer vegetables. During winter, the green shoots help hold the soil in place. By the time spring rolls around, spelt grows tall and vigorous, and it's ready for harvest by midsummer. This whole cycle ties directly into crop rotations, where spelt fields help rest the soil and get it ready for other crops in the following season. The grain isn't just another commodity, it's really a keystone of how the Amish manage land fertility across generations. Beyond the harvest, spelt has a real place in daily life. Once it's threshed and cleaned, its uses go far beyond just the fields. In Amish kitchens, spelt is ground into flour for bread, pancakes, and pastries. Its nutty, slightly sweet flavor gives their baked goods a richness that modern wheat just can't replicate. Spelt berries, which are the whole kernels, are also cooked in soups or served as a side dish, providing hearty nourishment during those long workdays. Economically, spelt holds significance as well. For Amish families, any surplus grain can be sold to local millers or health food markets, and it often fetches a premium price compared to conventional wheat. This income helps support their self-sufficient lifestyle, letting them buy necessities they can't produce themselves, while keeping their farms financially stable. Unlike corn or soy, which tie farmers to global commodity markets, spelt offers a niche crop with consistent local demand. But perhaps the deepest value of spelt lies in its symbolic and spiritual role. You see, bread baked from spelt flour is often served at gatherings and church events, reinforcing its place at the center of Amish community life. Food, for the Amish, is never just fuel. It's a gift from the land, blessed by God and shared with neighbors. Spelt, with its deep roots in tradition, embodies this philosophy more than almost any other crop. A modern-day revival. Beyond Amish farms, spelt is experiencing a quiet comeback. As modern consumers seek alternatives to overprocessed wheat, spelt stands out for its nutritional profile. It contains higher levels of protein, fiber, and essential minerals like magnesium and iron. Its gluten structure is different from modern wheat, making it more digestible for some people though not suitable for those with celiac disease. Farmers outside the Amish community are also paying attention. Spelt's hardiness means it can grow in poorer soils where modern wheat falters. Its natural resistance reduces the need for chemical treatments, making it attractive for organic systems. In regions facing unpredictable weather, Spelt's resilience to cold and wet conditions is increasingly valuable. In many ways, it represents a sustainable solution for a food system searching for resilience in the face of climate change. The Amish, who never abandoned spelt, are now seen as its stewards. Their cultivation practices offer a blueprint for how to integrate this ancient crop into modern farms. You know, it's a reminder that sometimes progress isn't about new technologies, but about rediscovering old wisdom. Preserving the past, feeding the future, well, keeping spelt alive in a modernizing world is definitely not without its challenges. For the Amish, traditional farming methods are, much more time-consuming compared to all those mechanized systems out there. Spelt also produces lower yields than modern wheat, which makes it a whole lot less attractive to large-scale agribusiness. These pressures could have easily pushed spelt to extinction, just like they did in much of the world. Yet the Amish persist, not just out of habit but really out of conviction. By preserving spelt, they're also preserving cultural and agricultural diversity that, honestly, the modern food system desperately needs. Each kernel carries the story of resilience across centuries, a story that connects ancient fields in Europe with present-day farms in North America. Losing that story would mean narrowing our options, especially in a time when diversity is, perhaps, our greatest insurance against an uncertain future. For gardeners and small farmers today, there's an invitation here. Growing spelt, or even just supporting those who do, is a way to align with sustainable farming and help preserve agricultural heritage. It might not replace wheat in every kitchen, but it offers variety, resilience, and a real tangible connection to the land. Spelt challenges us to, think differently about what crops we value and why. So, just a few closing thoughts. The one ancient crop Amish cultivate, spelt, is honestly more than just food. It's a legacy of resilience, a bridge between past and future, and a living lesson in the value of diversity. While modern agriculture rushed toward uniformity, the Amish quietly tended this grain, reminding us that true abundance comes not from uniformity, but from variety and care. If you're inspired by the way the Amish have preserved spelt and want to bring some of that wisdom into your own gardening journey, you could start by exploring heirloom grains, experimenting with soil-friendly rotations, or simply baking a loaf of spelt bread to connect with this ancient tradition. For more deep dives into the crops and practices that keep soil and communities alive, make sure to subscribe to Hydrohaven. And hey, share this with a fellow gardener who's hungry for knowledge rooted in tradition, yet vital for the future. Together, we can preserve the wisdom of the past while cultivating a more resilient tomorrow.